29. Episode 29. If you were to put those numbers 3 times into a telephone in Blackpool, you would be calling a cab company. This is a free advertisement for them, Blackpool cabs, whoever the hell they are. Anyway, what an episode this is today. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Lawrenson. We've got an explosive episode for everyone. Just your weekly reminder. Please leave us a review. I don't know how to leave a review. Go on, Google the Pottervision podcast, and on the Apple, page of it, you can just leave a review on there. Say something nice. Please, I'd like it. And if you'd like to support the show, or if you want bonus content, go to patreon.com/Pottervision. We've got a lot of exciting things going on over there. Anyway, here's me yammering on. Here's episode 29.
Pottervision, Pottervision, Pottervision.
Hello, and welcome to the Pottervision podcast, the podcast where every week myself and Tom Lawrenson, we look at a chapter from those Harry Potter novels. I say every week, it's me, Lukas, Kirkby, and my partner Tom Lawrenson, but this week we have the return of friend of the show, Lewis Shaw.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
He's back. A welcome return.
Oh, well, thanks for having me back on, guys.
It's the Christmas episode of the second book, so we thought it was only right to get our Christmas pal on.
Can I just say before we start, you always look fantastic.
Oh.
You look great.
Oh.
That's what you said last time.
I don't lie. I say what I mean. And Tom, you look great. You've done your workout before the podcast.
You got to get it done.
Yeah.
For listeners who don't know, a lot of the time I do a workout before the podcast. That way, it tires me out to a point that I've got nothing to say. So hopefully, to this episode will be no different.
Tom works out his body, I work out mathematical equations. That's how we warm up for the show.
You got any sums for us today, Lukey boy?
Yeah, 3 times 7, 21.
Can you fact check that?
It's true.
Hey!
I know that because it's one of my favourite songs.
Hey, I tell you something though, this is very upsetting. I've actually lost my calculator this week.
Oh, yeah.
Which to a normal person, out to me normally, you'd think, well, get a new one, buddy. But
I'd say don't bother getting a new one. No need. Everyone's got a phone. You got a phone, you don't need a calculator.
Oh, but this is the calculator that I've had since I was in school.
Oh, yeah?
And I've had it, did my GCSEs with it, did my A-levels with it, did my degree with it.
Oh.
I've done 8 years of maths tuition with the help of this calculator, and I've lost it.
And he's written boobies on it countless times.
Oh.
It's got him through a very dark evening, that calculator.
Oh, it has boobies,
Boobless.
boobless. Eee.
Where do you think it went, Lucas?
I think I've left it in one of the classrooms that I tutor in.
Do you have an eye on a kid that you think might have, nicked it?
I think there's a couple who are under my suspicion, but I wouldn't care to say on the podcast.
Name and shame. Name and shame.
That would be such a power move if they just whipped it out next maths lesson and was like, yeah, I've had this for years, Mr. Kirkby.
Look, all I'll say is they are between 11 and 18, and they may be male or female. Tom, how have you been this week?
I've been good. It's been a week since I last saw you. We last recorded on Monday, did we not? Is that true?
It feels very odd. We normally are Sunday podcast recorders, aren't we?
Did a couple days at work and then a bit of an Easter break.
Lovely.
Yeah. This will be coming about a bit delayed to our listeners, yeah. And I've sat out in the garden. I've had some chocolate. I've indulged.
Oof.
Too much so. Yeah.
Right. And what about you, Lewis? Have you had a good year?
Had a good year, yeah. Are we just pretending that it's not 3 months later, or?
Is that how long it's been?
I think so, yeah. We recorded last time just before Christmas.
Yeah.
I haven't been right up to date with your podcast releases. I listened to the end of book 1, but I haven't listened to the few episodes you've done for, well, was it like 12 episodes you've done for this
Something
book?
like that. Something like that.
So I thought I'd like go and listen to the most recent one you guys released, and see what new stuff you guys were talking about. And I was interested to see that Lukas is still talking about his mouldy kitchen, and Tom's talking about how many underpants he owns. So great content there,
I wish I wasn't still talking about my mouldy kitchen. I wish it was all sorted, but it's still ongoing.
I have seen some of the photos, Lukas. It looks really nice.
Thank you.
What you've done so far. I know it's been very stressful for you, so yeah, well done, because I know how hard it is to do stuff on your house.
And I went home, and the Lawrenson household could not believe that you guessed that I only owned 12 pairs of underpants. They were like, that Lukas.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone knows I've got 80 pairs of underpants.
Do you know what? You might think I'm a bit upset that you go home to your family and they slag me off. But I think you'll be more upset that when I go home to my family, they don't mention you at all.
Oh, wow.
They have no interest in Papa Loro.
I've actually been hanging out with some of my family this week. Obviously, restrictions been lifted a bit, so we've been out in the garden, reminiscing about old times. And I think, well, my family anyway, when we get back together, you just go over the same stories about certain people, like, every time you get together. So, there's a few stories there which I think relate to the podcast, and something I mentioned last time was that I felt that if I was Harry Potter, I'd enjoy the fame a lot more than being good at spells or like that. So they reminded me of a story that happened to me when I was at school.
Okay.
So at school, you had assemblies.
Yes.
And many times, like, girls would get up to do, like, dances, wouldn't they, in assembly?
Yeah,
you sit there.
Shit dances.
Shit dances, yeah. So you sit there and watch girls do dances. So I thought, what could
Sometimes overly sexual.
Yeah. So, I wanted a piece of that attention when I was at school. I was like, I want a bit of that. What can I do to get myself...
get me my assless chaps. I've got a little routine worked out.
I've been working on my slut drop, slapping those thighs. And I thought, how could I get a little bit of attention like that? How could I present myself in assembly?
Yeah.
I was a bit of a singer. I did the rounds in Tenerife, karaoke bars, Oasis, loved it. Bit outdated. So I thought, how could I get myself on into one of these assemblies? Boy dancing by himself, weird. If I just went up there and started dancing, weird. So I thought, singing, maybe I'll go down singing route. Went to the headmaster, knocked on his door, said, Headmaster, I want to, sing an assembly.
And he naturally said, get out of my office. Why aren't you in lessons?
Yeah, so...
But you said, Headmaster, hear me out.
Yeah. He let me do it. He was like, yeah, okay, you can sing. What are you planning on singing? So I was like, what am I planning on singing? I went through my Now 47 album.
Yeah.
And I thought, what can I sing here? There was, like I said, Oasis, maybe Steps. I was like, no, I'm feeling... I was a bit of a rocker, and I wanted to portray a bit of a cool image, I suppose.
Entertain, upbeat.
Yeah, so Bon Jovi, right? Bon Jovi, yeah. It's my life. I was 9 years old at the time. It was my life,
And in a way, it was now or never.
It was now or never. I had to take that chance to sing an assembly.
Can't stay in primary school forever. It'd have been weird if you came back after high school and then went and sang in primary school. They wouldn't have let you.
So, I did it, to be honest. That's the end of the story. I did it.
You go up on stage.
Now
or never, I'm gonna never. Your little brother's in the audience. What's he thinking?
We've not
Did he
really
remember?
discussed it. I don't remember what he was thinking, to be honest. I think it was just one of those things that... Because my brother's quite out there as well, so he was probably like, yeah, good on you. Get out there. Put yourself out there. But it did shoot me to some schoolyard fame in that, some of the girls would come up to me and ask me for, a private gig. So
really?
I had a group of girls, and the boys got wind of this and started being a bit belligerent and trying to break it up because they were jealous, obviously.
Lewis, no more ballads.
Yeah.
Break is only so long. Ever get up in assembly, Lucas?
Only to do like the group stuff, like if this week it's our class that are doing the assembly and we're doing I don't know, usually a Bible story or something, and you had to say the lines and step forward and talk about something or other. But I can't remember getting up on my own and doing.
Did you never have like a compulsion though to do something like that? I don't have that compulsion now,
No.
but I just remember having it as a kid. Like
The stage,
I had
the
to have like some
attention.
attention, even if it was something like cringy and weird. Like,
I remember.
like that,
I remember watching Stars in Their Eyes Kids on ITV and seeing these
Oh,
kids
yeah.
go up singing you. And I said to my parents, "Mum, Dad, I want to go on Stars in Their Eyes Kids." And
Yeah.
they looked at each other worryingly, knowing that their boy can't sing, knowing that their boy is shy, and knowing that their boy will easily
Yeah.
cry. And he went, "Well, maybe you sang us a song first." And I think I sang a few lines of that Hold Me Close song, hold me close, don't let me go. And then I got embarrassed and give up halfway through. And they were
yeah.
kind of like, well...
I love how like your parents were like were acting as if they were like
Yeah.
the producers of the show, and they were like, "Yeah, it's all right. We're not going to pass you on to the next stage, though, Tom. Unfortunately, thanks for your time."
What is Matthew Kelly going to say to that if we put that in front of him?
Hey, give it a few years when Cat Dealey will be on. She'll be a bit more sympathetic.
Probably would have been Cat Dealer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Keep Matthew Kelly away from the little kids.
Hey, I've seen Matthew Kelly live.
Have you?
In Spamalot.
Oh, yeah.
It was Matthew Kelly and Todd Carty was the guy with the cloppy
Quick question.
coconuts.
Who the fuck is Todd Carty?
Todd Carty, it's Mark Fowler from EastEnders.
Oh, who could... Did you know Todd Carty?
I don't know who any of these people are.
He's Todd Carty, he was Mark Fowler from EastEnders and was very famous for having a gay AIDS storyline.
I haven't got AIDS.
That was
I've
it.
got the virus, but I haven't got the disease.
Hey, you always been my son, Mark. That was Pauline.
You've got AIDS, Mark. Get out of my pub.
That's it.
I have seen that actually.
You've seen that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's him, Todd Carty.
Lewis, may I interrupt this age chat and ask you for a rundown?
You may ask me, Lucas, for a rundown.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to be able to help you on that one, Tom.
I can't remember this chapter either.
Hey, what? We've been talking.
Can I get that? Lucas, may I interrupt you and get this rundown?
You may. Chapter 12. We're on episode 29, we didn't even say. Chapter 12, the Polyjuice Potion. The chapter starts off, Harry's in Dumbledore's office. He's walking round and he spots the Sorting Hat. He thinks, right, I'm going to ask him, was he right to put me in Slytherin, put me in Gryffindor? The Hat goes, I was right, you would have done well in Slytherin, and Harry gets the ump. Next minute, a phoenix is on fire, Dumbledore turns up, Hagrid barges in, hey, it wasn't him, he wasn't the killer of the Mudbloods. And Dumbledore goes, Harry, I didn't think it was you, but is there something you'd like to tell me? And Harry says nothing.
Nope.
Absolutely nothing.
Nope.
So next minute it's Christmas Day and they're getting ready to put this Polyjuice potion together, right? They get Crabbe and Goyle eating cakes, falling asleep, and they turn into Crabbe and Goyle. And Hermione, for some reason, bails at the last minute. We don't know why. They go to the Slytherin common room, and Malfoy reveals that he doesn't actually know who the heir of Slytherin is. He doesn't have a clue, and it's not him. But apparently the heir of Slytherin opened the Chamber of Secrets 50 years ago, and a mudblood died. So they go back to tell Hermione the news, and it turns out she's actually turned into a cat. Meow! Oh, God. Because it was a cat hair on Millicent Bulstrode's robes. And that was the Polyjuice potion.
I am so impressed by that, Lucas. That was like straight off the top of the dome, ad-lib. Great rundown. Enjoyed it.
I'm so glad you said that, because I thought it was terrible. One of the worst. I was
Maybe read it next time.
Yeah, I will do. I was tripping over words. I was missing key elements out.
You'd lost my attention.
I'd lost Tom's attention.
That's not hard.
Yeah, no.
Tom was just sat there ready to meow.
He was doing press-ups.
Oh, what a chapter.
What a chapter. Chapter 12, the
Yes.
Polyjuice Potion.
Yes.
Harry is in Dumbledore's office.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
he's in Diagon Alley again. His eyes are darting around. all these things to see, all these things to see. Don't know where to look.
And it's circular, so he's probably just spinning around in a circle.
Oh, yeah.
Like getting dizzy.
Making himself sick.
Crazy. He's been in a lot of offices this year. He's been in Filch's office, he's been in Lockhart's office, he's been in Snape's office, and now he's in Dumbledore's office, and it's by far the most interesting. Hey, wait till you start looking through his mail.
It's got to be like interesting for kids, because if you're in a teacher's office, it's either you've been bad, or there's a serious talk going on.
Yeah.
Usually bad news as well. So I think that's probably like the mood that's trying to be conveyed is like, you know, maybe a bit like secretive or like I don't know, like it's always like a taboo, isn't it, for kids to be in the headmaster's office?
Yes.
There is this thing that the teachers are keeping things from Harry at the same time that Harry's keeping things from the teachers.
Ooh.
I think it's nice as well that like Dumbledore like keeps the hat like in his office, like not just like in the back of a closet or something like that. Just like because it is a bit of a state, isn't it?
Do you think he picks it up and talks as it like?
100%.
Am I still in Gryffindor? It's been 100 years, Dumbledore. Yes, you're still in Gryffindor.
Just every time he has a moral decision, he puts a hat on. Was I right to deduct 5 points from Hufflepuff? I don't give a shit, Dumbledore.
I know, yeah. It could be a bit have a bit of life in it, but because Dumbledore's wearing it so much, when it's not being worn, it's just like, oh, like in a little slump. I think I'd wear it. I think I'd wear the hat, you know. Get a bit.
Pretty fucking boring, because all it goes on about is what house you're in. just like
I suppose like the real world equivalent of that would be like football teams.
Yeah.
Like, do you support West Ham?
yeah.
What about West Ham? You support them though, don't you?
Yeah.
What about Man U? Do you like Man U? Yeah.
Or you'd be better if you supported Man U. They're doing better than West Ham right now.
Hey, what music do you listen to? West Ham.
Yeah.
But I like what you're saying about the teachers' offices, because in a normal school they're just like a desk with some papers on it. But I think Hogwarts are insinuating that their office is also kind of where they live.
Yeah.
Because they're definitely implying that this is like Dumbledore's flat, his apartment. So
maybe
I think
maybe he's using the sorting hat as like a pillow or something like that.
Oh,
when he's
yeah.
going to sleep.
Some underpants washing in a cauldron.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is where Dumbledore keeps all his thoughts. It's where he keeps his pets. Yeah, it definitely seems more like his pad than just like the headmaster's office.
Bit of a coincidence. We'll get to that, the forks. But staying on the sorting hat, Harry, he could not help himself. He picks up the sorting hat and plops it on his head. And the sorting hat is like, Harry... what does he say to him? He's still
Slytherin. No,
like,
still...
I stand by what I said. You would have done well in Slytherin.
And he goes, oh, get off my head. Would he have done well in Slytherin, though? Would he have done well in Slytherin? Because Harry is a goody two-shoes, isn't he? He's like the underdog. He's obsessed with being the underdog.
Yeah.
Would that have fit in well in Slytherin? Because he's not that weak-willed that he would have bent to it. Or would that have been him being the ultimate underdog by going amongst the most vicious people ever to turn them right from the outside and the inside?
I think it's the case of the sorting hat just caring about the houses again. It's just like, yeah, you do really well in Slytherin. You get tons of points for them. You know, like he doesn't have like any moral compass as well at all, or any other thoughts. He's just like, yeah, you do well there.
Yeah, they get you on the Quidditch team. Yeah. West Ham.
And it's that thing of not wanting to admit that he was wrong as well. So like, no, I still think you'd have done well in Slytherin. I wasn't wrong there. But I think that would actually make a far more interesting series if Harry was put in Slytherin. This guy is supposed to be the hero, but then he's surrounded by baddies who potentially support Voldemort.
Yeah, if Draco would have been his best friend throughout, what would that have been like?
Yeah, that'd have been very
Him
interesting.
turning Draco. That's basically what the Cursed Child is about. But anyway.
Hey.
I do like how Harry asks himself, like, oh, what would putting this little hat... It wouldn't cause any trouble, would it, if I just put this little hat on?
No.
And it's like, mate, everything you do in this world causes trouble. Like, it's magic, anything could happen. It's like, oh, it's not going to cause any trouble.
Harry, have some self-awareness. You think you are in this office because you are being accused of murdering children.
Yeah.
And, there are about 3 kids in hospital. There's a ghost who's turned black, which no one has ever seen happen ever. You think you're there being accused, and in about 2 seconds, the headmaster of the school is going to walk in to see you trying on his hats. Oh, what next? He's got his robe on, dancing around. Whoa! Was I right to be in Gryffindor, bro?
Yeah, it's like you get called to the headmaster's office, you're just trying on his coat.
Oh, I've got the big yellow jacket he wears for bus duty.
Kissing the picture of his wife on his desk.
Or like, imagine if he was like, I don't know, like in a normal school, dragged to the hall to be told off.
Yeah.
And he's using the gym apparatus on the wall, hanging upside down. Harry, get down! A boy
off
is
that
dead!
Go on,
Fawkes bursts into flames.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bursts into flames. He does a bit of gagging first.
Yeah, so Harry heard a gagging noise from across the room. Oh, I'm sorry, Harry. I didn't know you were here.
Oh, come on.
What?
It's a family show.
He was choking on a sausage.
Still a family show. The bird bursts into flames.
Yes.
Why is Harry always at the wrong place at the wrong time?
It's like a sitcom, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, get that hat off. The bird is dead. Now, Fawkes.
Yes.
Guy Fawkes.
Oh.
5th of November.
Yes.
Bonfire night. So was Fawkes named after Guy Fawkes? It bursts into flames like they set alight Guy Fawkes.
I think that could be right, couldn't? Because nearly every name in the Harry Potter world has some kind of relevance to something else.
Bit of a sick joke.
Yeah. I think so.
Nearly headless Saddam Hussein. Why do they call you nearly headless?
Guy Fawkes.
Yeah. Now, Hagrid comes bursting in the doors, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And he's shaking a dead chicken around.
It wasn't him. It wasn't him, Professor. I'll vouch for him.
Now, even if I believed to my heart that Harry was innocent,
Yeah.
if a man started defending his honour shaking a chicken at me, I'd be like, do you know what? He's guilty. No, you don't do that to me. Rude.
Look. He's definitely not done it. And this person here is proof.
Sorry, Harry, but you're a murderer. Expelled. Yeah. Then Dumbledore asks him outright, doesn't he? He
Yes.
says, what does he say? He goes, Harry, is there anything you want to tell me? And he goes, no.
Harry,
Tell truth.
you know.
Tell don't be true.
Tell truth.
Tell don't be truth.
He only gets 2 chances a book to be on his own with Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And we know that one of them is when everything's fine. So Harry, this is the one chance you're going to get before you potentially die to get some information out of Dumbledore.
He's hearing voices. He's been hearing voices
Yeah.
throughout the castle, and he thinks to himself, should I tell Dumbledore, the man who always, has helped me so far?
Yeah.
Should I tell him? And he goes, no. Ron said even in the wizarding world, hearing voices is a bad thing. So taking Ron's advice, like he did last time.
Yeah.
When Ron said, let's steal a car and crash it. He's like, yeah, let's do that. Harry, wrong road again. Stop listening to Ron. Tell
Which
Dobby
wagon?
truth.
To which wagon should I tie my horse?
Yeah.
Dumbledore, the 100-year-old wizard who helped defeat the evil Grindelwald years ago. He's the most famous, fantastic, powerful wizard of our generation. Or Ron, my nutty friend. It just seems mad to me that he doesn't tell Dumbledore. Not even anything.
Yeah, even tell him that his friends are making smack in the toilet.
Yeah.
Whatever they do. What is it? Polyjuice? What does it do? Does it change?
Is your form for an hour, and they've been working on this for months. Should I tell? That my friends are making
Polyjuice potion.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if Dumbledore was like Harry Potter, and he does the thing in the film, doesn't he, where he looks over his glasses at Harry. Is there anything that you would like to tell me? Anything at all? I just tried on your hat.
I believe there's a extremist group amongst the students who are holding what are frankly racist views against other students.
Is it the Slytherins? We know about the Slytherins.
Yeah, that's what we know about them.
I just like, Professor, did you know the Slytherin's password is pure blood?
That was insane.
Who changed that? And everyone's just...
Imagine, there has got to be some Slytherins who aren't
Awful.
prejudice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you go, wait, what? I'm not saying that.
Yeah. It's like,
The
yeah.
password is Aryan Prince.
Because it's a new password as well, They say it's a new password.
Yeah.
So they've changed this password in light of the recent attacks.
The political landscape changes quickly at Hogwarts, doesn't it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dumbledore's password, sugared nipple. Yeah.
Speaking of when Fawkes the Phoenix bursts into flames and dies, according to Harry.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if anyone had that experience. You know, when you're at someone's house and you either break
And then Phoenix
something
breaks
and
in
then-
bursts into flames.
And the Phoenix bursts into flames and dies.
Yeah.
But the idea of breaking something when you're a visitor at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to either of you?
Definitely. I think I've scratched worktops and stuff, like a new marble worktop.
Oh!
With like my belt
Yeah.
buckle.
Just when doing something by accident.
Yeah.
Like, not even being bad. Like,
Yeah.
you flush the toilet and it breaks. And it's like,
Tell your mum you did it.
Yeah.
Tell your mum it was you.
Oh.
I never liked it when you went round like a kid's house and they just treated all their stuff really poorly. Like
Yeah.
lobbing their fire truck down the stairs and just like, come on, mate.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're gonna break it.
How about when you go round to a kid's house and you see their room is immaculate?
Oh
Yeah.
And then you're like, my room is a tip and you've seen my room.
Just feeling that sudden guilt.
I was a messy room boy.
Yes.
How about you guys?
I was very tidy. How about you, Lewis?
I shared one with my brother, so I think it was like 50-50.
Yeah.
It was a bit messy, but that was just because there was two of us in there.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah, boys will be boys.
Both you get 3 things out. It's already a tip.
I'll tell you a story.
Please
we
do.
once went on a caravanning holiday in
Who's
North
this?
Wales. This is me, my mum, my dad, my sister, and my sister's friend, who I won't name.
Got it out of him.
I'm easily tickled. So,
What, you won't name because she's easily tickled?
no, not
What?
because it's an embarrassing story for her.
She was tickling you?
No, there was no tickling in this story.
Right, go on.
So, we're in this caravan, and we've not paid for the caravan. It was my mum's friend's caravan.
Is it your sister's friend?
She goes to the toilet. Right?
Cool.
Okay. We go on the Friday. She goes to the toilet. Okay. She texts my sister. She says, "Come to the toilet. Something's happened, right?" And it turns out that she dropped a bobble on the
Right.
floor. And as she'd bent down to pick up the bobble, she'd cracked the toilet seat.
Okay.
So the toilet seat had cracked. So, to save face, rather than enjoying our lovely holiday, we spent the whole weekend looking in bathroom stores
Oh, that's great.
for the exact same toilet seat to replace the toilet seat that she'd
Oh,
cracked.
man.
Did you get the exact one?
Yeah, got it. They never knew anything about
How long
it.
did this? How many stores did you go in? The whole weekend, 2 days worth of.
It was
I love
about,
that.
I think it was about 3 or 4 stores that we looked in.
That's-
In 1 day or 2 days?
I can't remember, but I remember it because it was a glass.
Glass?
toilet seat. It was like
I blame the owners.
it was like a glass toilet seat with like patterns on it.
Oh, yeah.
So it was very specific.
Well, I'm
We
glass.
found it.
I've always wondered what, when the lid is closed, what is going on in that bowl?
That's like the height of Britishness, isn't it? Just to save like
Yeah.
5 minutes of minor embarrassment, saying we broke the toilet seat,
Yeah.
we're going to replace it. We can't find the exact same one.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
give you this white one. But you decided to, frankly, ruin your holiday
Yes.
by searching, for 2 days.
Yes,
But
exactly.
I love that. That's well. That's
That was a
really
great
funny.
tale.
Yeah, well, thank you very bloody much. The only other story, this isn't as good a story, but I once...
Don't tell it.
Hello!
Go on, let's hear it.
I once broke somebody's wicker sofa
Oh.
at a New Year's Eve party.
Were you plucking it?
No. A friend decided to choke slam me like you do in the wrestling.
That'd break a wicker chair, Lukas.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
And,
do it.
yeah, and he choke slammed me through a wicker chair at someone's New Year's Eve party.
Oh, that's bad.
And they never knew it was us, the parents, because we didn't say a dicky bird.
Well,
I mean, this is not exactly related, but I guess it relates to house parties and ownership over your own... Actually, not your own mistake. When you go to use the bathroom
Yeah.
and someone's left it in the right state. And then you're in there and you're like, if I leave now,
They're gonna
if I
think
line
it's
out,
me.
they're going to think it's me. This is my responsibility. I've got ownership over whatever this is in the toilet now.
Yeah, hose
hate
down
that.
as much sick as you can.
I'd climb out the
Get the
window.
water hose on it.
I'd climb out the window, join the back of the queue. What's going on in there? Hurry up!
Kick it down.
Goodness.
Tom, why are all your clothes in here? Couldn't fit through the window. Now, Fred and George are not taking this seriously.
I love their attitude.
Oh, me and you're going to butt heads on this.
Really? You think it's out of order that they joke about this the air, the Slytherin
They
air?
are walking Harry through the corridors and they're saying, hey, come make way everyone, here comes the air of Slytherin.
I think it's really funny.
Some children in hospital. You think that's funny?
Yeah.
They got a morbid sense of humour. Lucas, where do you lay?
Oh!
It's tough for him now, because normally he disagrees with whatever I say.
Yeah, I do.
Conflicting
Yes.
opinions, are you going to go
This
with?
is horrible.
Sit on the fence. Sit on the fence.
Oh, I've got to, even though the joy of having Lewis here is filling my soul, I do have to agree with Tom on this one. I feel like it's very bad taste.
Oh.
Go on.
Yeah, I just think if people weren't injured, if it was just somebody doing pranks or, graffiti or whatever, I think it'd be fine.
Got me thinking though, is it gallows humour? Have Fred and George been through something so awful, now they see the humour in everything like that? What was happening in their first 2 years at Hogwarts?
I don't think anything.
No.
I just think they are bloody terrible.
I think all the trouble started when Harry Potter came to school.
And they resent him for that.
Imagine if you're at like 3 years above and every year you're like, him again, Harry and his mates, every year messing around.
Yeah. Because as far as we know, when the Chamber of Secrets was opened 50 years ago, that's the last time anything like this happened at school. And last year we had Voldemort, this year we've got students being attacked. Harry, get transferred. We will collectively send you to Beauxbatons.
George is carrying around a large clove of garlic, and it's got you thinking, is that joke? The garlic to save himself from Harry as a joke. Is that worth walking around stinking of garlic?
100%.
And they seem to have unlimited access to any resources they want, these students.
That's where I draw the line, actually, the garlic.
Yeah.
I was on board, lads, until that point, but after the garlic, you cancelled. Fred and George, you cancelled, mate.
You cancelled. No, but imagine being sat next to him in class.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Oh, I don't know if you know, but you stink of garlic.
Oh yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
joke,
what's the joke?
Harry Potter's the heir of Slytherin.
I'm missing something here.
What's that smell of shit?
What?
Oh, yeah, it's a joke, man. Just don't wipe your arse.
Because of Harry Potter.
Because of Harry Potter.
Yeah, everyone's doing
He's
it.
always staring.
Everyone who? Fred,
Fred,
me. I always see you hanging around with your brother at break. Do you have any other friends in our year? Do you want to smell of garlic? Get out of here. Now, they're laughing and joking, and Draco hated it.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. It's not funny.
No.
It's serious. Draco has recognised an error in his ways, and now he finds it distasteful.
Yeah, 100%. Well, he don't like the attention Harry's getting, because it says everybody is booing and hissing at Harry.
Boo hiss.
Who is he, the wicked stepmother from Cinderella?
We got hissed at our show in Edinburgh once
Did we? What
Yeah.
for?
doing jokes about Scottish people.
I love it, because the jokes about Al Qaeda, 9/11, but anything about the Scottish.
Ooh, boo hiss.
There's nothing better than a Scotsman's moral compass. Let me say that.
No. It was nice getting hissed. I liked it.
It's fun, isn't it, being the panto villain?
They've decided to stay over Christmas, to catch Draco in the act.
I mean,
Yeah.
Draco decided that Crabbe and Goyle were going to stay over Christmas as well. He was like, you boys are staying here.
Imagine getting that phone call from your son Goyle. What? Dad, it's me, Goyle. No, Goyle's your last name. Say your name to me. What's going on at that school?
I don't know, I'm just going to crack my knuckles for a bit.
Goyle. What? I've seen a picture of you. Why do you have a dessert basin-shaped haircut? What was it? A pudding basin haircut.
We haven't given you that.
Your mum's not got arms of a gorilla. I've not got arms of a gorilla. Where'd you get them arms from, boy?
Draco said we're staying over Christmas. What? You coming home? Your nana's on her last legs.
Gorilla legs.
Hey, that's where he gets it from. Look, what have we told you about shaving your forehead? You look like a freak. Shave your forehead, shave your gorilla arms, cut your hair properly.
Please, Dad, please. But do what you want then. But I'll have you know, I'm not happy about it. Thanks!
And once again, the Weasleys are going off to Egypt.
Oh yeah, Egypt every year. Hey, Mummy, Daddy Weasley, here's an idea. Get Bill to come home.
Yeah.
Daddy's probably stressed though.
Yeah, that's what he needs, holiday.
Yeah, definitely.
He can't afford to have an holiday. He's on. I think he's on a thin
50
rope,
golden...
thin line.
They've been fined
50 doubloons,
50
yeah.
doubloons.
Or galleons,
Galleons
yeah.
or something.
Look, the one thing he needs is some rest and recuperation in a war-torn North African country with dragons in it.
War-torn?
Probably. Is he not war-torn? I know people
Egypt. Maybe a wizard war, but definitely not.
No, they do, don't they?
Holiday destination
They do.
Egypt.
Yeah, remember when they bombed the pyramids of Giza back in 2000?
There must be something going on there, mustn't there?
That bloody war-torn. You can't even...
Lukas is thinking of the mummy.
You can't even
Oh, yeah,
exaggerate that. He's thinking of the mummy. That mummy causing problems.
Where's Brendan Fraser when you need him?
Right. Now, the Dursleys, Christmas morning. Mm-hmm. Christmas morning.
Oh, yeah.
Da-la-bop-bop. Na-na-na. I think that's Christmas music. Harry opens his first present. It's a letter from the Dursleys. It is a toothpick. And a letter saying, can you ask if you can stay over the summer holidays too? Now, why send anything if you're going to send a toothpick?
I thought I was taking the piss, to be honest.
You think they were taking the piss?
See, here I'm arguing with you two boys because the Dursleys have heard about how many turkeys Harry is going to be getting through. And he's going to have a lot of turkey meat stuck between those molars, let me say.
Or
Yeah.
is it a hint? You know? Are they saying it's like one of these times when, you know, say if you've got bad breath
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
and
true.
someone offers you a bit of chuddy. Hey, can I get you some chuddy?
Oh.
Maybe it's something like that. Here's one for you. I had it in school once where a teacher brought me in a toothbrush and toothpaste. What does that mean?
You're joking.
No.
Did they?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I thought it might have been to bump up your Operation Christmas Child box. It's looking a bit weak, that, Tom. You've only got a couple of toys in about.
And also, your breath honks.
Hermione comes in and she goes, "Oh, wake up, it's Christmas." And Ron goes, "You're not supposed to be in here."
Yeah. We
Pots.
could have been wanking.
Can I say, pot, kettle and black mister in a girl's bathroom every
I
5
know.
minutes.
Yeah.
Very
Should you get back in the girls' box, Ron? Let it simmer. Let it
It's
simmer.
not Christmas Day yet, Ron. Oh, wait, it is. Let's get in there.
Hedwig delivers this present from the Dursleys.
Yeah.
And she nibbles Harry's ears, and Harry goes, "Oh, you're talking to me now, are you?" It's taken 4 months for Hedwig to forgive.
Does that mean the Dursleys would have had to communicate with Hedwig? So
Yeah.
Hedwig's turned up at their house, and then they've passed Hedwig a letter,
Yeah,
and then it's flown off.
they must have done, mustn't they? That's a weird scene. I want to see that.
Just like, just give it!
That bloody bird!
Or he's pretending like, oh, get out of here, you bird, fine, take my letter.
And they asked, don't they, in the letter? The letter says, "Are you going to be staying at Hogwarts over the summer?"
Yeah.
And that's meant to sound, oh, they don't care, they don't want him there. But actually, they hate each other.
Yeah.
That would be beneficial to both of them
It's
if
the best
Hogwarts.
solution, isn't
Yeah,
it?
100%.
And I'm pretty sure he doesn't bother asking.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not told them that he's staying over Christmas, has he?
Yeah. Now, they go into the Great Hall, and warm, dry snow is falling from the ceiling. Does that sound nice? Basically, flour. It's in my dinner. Yeah.
Dumbledore was leading in the carols. while Hagrid was getting louder with every cup of eggnog he drank.
And also figured out Hagrid's age. So he got expelled in second year, didn't he?
50 years ago.
62. 63.
No. I would never think he was that. I think he's in his 40s. But he must be.
He got expelled 50 years ago.
Well, I know, I'm accepting the fact.
Oh, his face.
I'm just saying, up until now, you wouldn't think he was in his 60s, would
Well,
you?
he's got that giant blood in him, hasn't he?
Yeah, how much, what's the conversion to giant years?
Well, I mean, Gwarp is his little brother.
Yeah.
And he's like a baby. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
He's like a toddler. And when did his mum have him?
That's very strange.
What's a squib again?
A non-magical wizard. So, like, if your
Who's got
parents are
magic
wizards
Ah.
and they give birth to a boy, you can't do magic.
I don't... I feel the word squib is a bit...
Offensive?
No, it's just like not... It's lazy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good enough word
No.
to describe
Seems
it.
like slang
muddle's
or
nice,
short.
Mudblood's nice.
Yeah.
Squib.
Squib.
Yeah. Very, very odd. Oh, I just saw some of your spit.
I'll have a wash.
But yeah, it'd be odd for Hagrid, a 62-year-old man, to have a 3-year-old brother. Very odd.
It's even odder for a 62-year-old man to have 3 11-year-old friends.
That's true. But I've got a friend whose auntie is younger than her.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens sometimes.
Because her grandma had a kid after her
Happens.
mum had her.
Yeah.
Very odd to have an auntie younger than you.
Happens, baby. It bloody happens. Now, Hermione starts dishing out the plan.
Oh, yeah.
We need some DNA from the people we're going to turn into.
Yeah.
Going to get some DNA. She goes, hey, I've hatched this plan. I've put some sleeping potion in these chocolate cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Crabbe and Goyle, right?
Yeah.
What you think this point, you're thinking, should we be doing this if
Yeah.
we're going to start drugging kids?
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
Because it all sounds lovely when it's called a sleeping draft.
Yeah.
When it's rehypnol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
It's a crime. It could kill them.
Yes.
I do like how she feels it's like preordained that this plan, they have to do this plan.
Yeah.
It's like, even when they get to the point where they're like, oh, how are we going to get the DNA? Oh, we're just going to drug them. And it's like, the red lights aren't flashing then.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, we have to do that to get to the next part of the plan.
Surely just bonk. I don't know.
Bonk them on the
I was going to say
I
that.
thought you were going to say bonk them.
Bonk, no.
Like James Bond, you know, you earn their trust by making love to them.
Mallet on the head. No, but yeah, that's when you saw this. It's getting a bit too silly now.
Yeah.
It's a bit too school shootery. I don't know. It's a bit like, what are we doing here? Drugging people. It's like, okay, we need to keep Crabbe and Goyle indisposed for a few hours. Here, I filled these drinks with laxatives. Don't no. You don't put poison in people's bodies.
Yeah.
To keep them like, it's not what you do.
Well, they've been doing this potion for about months. For a couple of months, they've been brewing up this potion, and they've not decided how they're going to get the hairs off them. They don't know where the Slytherin common room is. They've not even figured that out. Why have they not done a recce of the Slytherin common room before the day of the plan?
Just, do you know what? Just like walk past Crabbe and Goyle in the corridor and just pull their hair out.
Yeah, just give them a nugget.
Go, beep, beep, and they might give you a big thump.
Yeah.
But that's better than drugging someone.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly.
that's the best. That's the best thing she could come up with. Right.
Yeah.
We need to drug them to get them to pass out, so we can pluck them while they're asleep. Is that the best thing we can do?
It just seems mad.
And how can she also assume that after an enormous feast, they really lay on thick how big this feast is, and they lay on thick how much Crabbe and Goyle are eating? How can she assume that the boys are going to have room for one more cake on the way back?
Yeah.
They say, oh, they're so greedy.
Yeah.
If you've stuffed yourself to the brim, surely you might go... Even Crabbe and Goyle might draw the line at that point.
Yeah.
Very true.
Well, earlier on, they're talking about Harry and Ron, and it mentions briefly Harry and Ron had their third helping of Christmas pudding, and you think, they've just had a good feast. But Crabbe and Goyle, they're so greedy. They had 4 helpings of trifle, the greedy pigs. That's only one more helping then, Ron and Harry. That's only one more helping.
But it got me thinking, what could you boys always have one more of? Well, at the point where you're at your limit, could it be like, one more drink? one more chip. Do you know, like, are you always going to finish every chip on your plate? Some people can leave, a handful of chips, but I'm always going to finish my plate.
For me, it's biscuits. If I have a tin of biscuits, I could always have another one. Chocolate digestives especially. I could always dip my hand in and have another one.
Are those your favourites, Lucas?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Chocolate digestive.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I used to be restricted at home to 3. If I was having my supper, I could have 3 chocolate
By who?
digestive biscuits by my mum and dad. Right? But sometimes, I hate to admit this on the podcast, and I'm sorry, mum and dad, sometimes when I came home, there'd be an hour's grace period from when I'd be on my own in the house and my mum and dad would come home. And sometimes I'd just eat a whole tin. Honestly.
Tin?
There used to be a biscuit tin. Where you'd empty, and I'd have a bloody tin full of... I'd have about 10, 15 biscuits.
They must know, but...
Did they ever ask you about
But
it?
you were a slim boy.
I know.
I've seen pics of you
Yeah.
as a boy. Very slim.
But what I used to do was I wouldn't eat me packed lunch, and then I'd come home
Yeah.
and eat a tin full of biscuits.
Mental.
And then when they made me their lovely tea, I'd be like, oh, can't eat all of
If I was
it.
your parents, I'd be pulling my hair out. I'd be pulling my hair out. This boy, biscuit bandit.
And that's how I get their hair for the Polyjuice potion. This is what they should have done with Crabbe and Goyle. Slowly eat more biscuits in front of them until they're pulling their hair out.
Lewis, what about you? Is there anything you can always have one more of?
I'd say pizza, to be honest. Like
One
a
more
piece
slice.
of pizza. Like, even when I'm stuffed, I'm just like, I see it there and I'm just like, I could save it for tomorrow. I could
Or just get rid of it now.
Because pizza's always best when it's, just been cooked.
Oh.
It's nice cold, but it's best when, you can hot and fresh straight away.
Oh, when the cheese is melting.
Yeah. I've not really got a sweet tooth, so I've never been like, biscuits or sweets, It's more savoury.
And for me, it's a fresh load of bath water. If I'm in the bath and it's starting to get cold, I'll empty it, get a new bath water in. And if someone says, do you want another batch of bath water? I'd say, yes, please. And I'm in there for hours and hours and hours and hours.
And people know you on the street as Tommy Top Up. He loves the top up of bath water.
That's me. Yeah. But imagine, this plan to go poison Crabbe and Goyle.
Yeah.
Imagine getting caught doing that. Dragging 2 lifeless bodies into a cupboard. What does that look like? And then taking their shoes off them.
Well, apart from the fact that Harry is already under suspicion by nearly everybody for being the person under these attacks,
He's dragging 2 dead bodies around.
he was found with Mrs. Norris, he was found with Justin Finch-Fletchley, and here he is with Ron Weasley, whose father's having an inquiry at work for enchanting things, dragging 2 Slytherins into a mop cupboard.
With brown substance all around their mouths. What is happening?
Yeah.
It never really explained like what it might do in the next chapter. Like when they woke up, like what did they think, or they just assume that's too stupid to sort of like?
I think
bring up anything.
they just brush it off as them being too stupid to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Madness. So I think they're going to wake up in the broom cupboard thinking, oh, what a night we had. What a crazy night. I don't remember coming here.
I think they're going to wake up really upset, like
think?
memory loss.
Hair loss.
Shoe loss, hair loss. They're going to be like, what have I been through tonight?
Shat themselves because they ate so much.
Yeah. If they could have been like rushing to the toilet or something.
Oh, yeah.
And now they've been drugged.
Put to sleep for a couple of hours, yeah.
Oh, surrounded by 4 helpings of trifle each.
But they might just be thinking, we did eat. We just ate till we passed out.
Yeah.
That's a plausible explanation.
Look, Christmas is a write-off. We do what we like, we eat what we like, whatever
We
happens,
drug who we
happens.
like. This is like these 3 going too wild again, all for the sake of this plan to get this Polyjuice potion that is not necessary whatsoever.
No.
They've been planning this all year to turn into someone else for 1 hour. Got me thinking. If you boys could Polyjuice potion into one person for 1 hour, who are you picking?
I'm picking you,
Oh.
Go on.
just to freak you out.
Yeah, you get a big. You turn up my doorstep, you get a big thump,
You'd punch yourself in the face.
That's what you
and then I
do.
punch myself in the face.
You've
Actually,
been ruining my life. Put yourself in the face.
I don't know.
So you turn up as me at my house, right?
Yeah.
Knock on the door. I open. Bloody hell, it's me. What are you saying?
Hello! It's Tom Lawrenson here.
You definitely got Lukas. What you doing? Is
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
No, you would not have a clue it was me.
Lukas, where you get my DNA? Tell them the truth.
I went to the toilet before.
Oh!
No! I took a hair from your hairbrush.
Everyone knows I don't brush my hair. That was a
Look, I rinsed it under the tap. I'm coming in, you'd have no idea it was me. I'd come in and I'd go, no, it's me, Tom Lawrence, and blah, 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 blah. And
That's you. That's you.
You wouldn't know it
You'd
was
be like,
me.
bitch, where did you get Polyjuice potion from, Lukas?
And you're wasting it. It
You're
takes
wasting
months to brew.
Ooh, not a day wasted.
Surely it would be you turn into someone to get as much money within that hour. I don't know, like, because how else would it benefit you?
Who would you do then? Right, you've got an hour. What are you thinking?
Well, you know you can turn into a...
Turn into Graham Norton, just go down Market Street?
sit down on the floor, beg.
Or just like go to people at cash points?
That's true.
Can I have some money? I'm
how would
Graham
you-
Norton.
Tell us about your new show.
Please, I beg.
Because the thing is, you'd have to get their DNA as well. So
Yeah.
is that part of the question, or you just have it? You just have it.
You just have it.
Because you cannot, thinking about stealing money and stuff, you cannot, even if you work for a bank, you cannot rob money on your own. You have to have an accomplice.
Yeah.
Because in the bank, the safe needs 2 keys that 2 different employees have at the same time on a rota. And this is why my mum and dad both worked for the Halifax, but they could not work in the same branch. And then the policy is you're not allowed family or married couples working in the same branch.
That makes sense.
In case you rob the bank together. But 2 friends, hey, go ahead. Fill your boots.
As long as when you steal the money, you don't kiss each other afterwards.
As long as this is purely a platonic crime, you can do what you like.
No crimes of love.
I'd just tell myself to dog trot around for a bit,
A dog.
get some attention.
Dog.
Oh, that'd be good. Just being stroked by
I don't know,
strangers.
it's only for an hour. What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You'd have to set up like a book signing
but
and turn into someone famous.
What say like you turn into like a pedigree dog? Yeah. Let's say like you know.
Oh, and win Crufts.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I'll have that. Give me that.
But like you say you turn into a pedigree dog, and then some scally nicks you,
Oh,
and then you're in the back of some van. Like this is gonna be weird in about an hour.
But hey, that would be like the weirdest episode of Jonathan Creek ever.
Yeah.
Where a dog gets put into a van, he drives, he opens it up, and it's friend of the show, Lewis Shaw.
it's a naked person
A naked. How have they done this?
with dog paws.
But it's weird, the hour thing, because you would just assume, you take more, or
Yeah,
top
you make
up.
it more concentrated to
Yeah.
do it for a little bit longer, but they've put this imposed
Yeah.
time limit of an hour.
Or, hate to spoil stuff, so I'll be a bit cryptic, but later in the series, there is someone who just takes swigs at regular intervals and tops up the Polyjuice potion.
Barty Crouch Jr. Hello, father.
See, that was me as well with the tongue. Yeah, why have they not just taken a drink with them, like a little flask where they can keep topping it up?
I don't know. I didn't think it through.
Not
Dumb kids.
think it through.
Yeah, I'd probably turn into someone who's got good manners and just give my family and friends a break for a bit.
Tom, please let me be there for that hour. It would be lovely to experience
Never,
that.
never. Now they transform into Crabbe and Goyle,
Yeah.
don't they? And all their potions turn a different colour, don't they?
Yes.
I took that to mean the potion turns the colour of the person's eyes.
Ooh.
Oh, I think you could be right.
Because they went a shade of green,
Yeah.
shade of brown,
Yeah.
and a shade of like orange yellow.
Yeah. I think you could be right. You are correct.
That's
so,
the smartest thing you've said on this podcast.
29 episodes in.
It's the smartest thing you've said all day.
Can I just
So
say,
rude when
Tom,
people say that.
your Polyjuice potion, Tom, would be the loveliest shade of blue.
Oh.
Yours, Lewis,
A beady shade of brown.
a beady shade of brown.
Have we got in here? Black.
Yeah.
Black as the devil's soul.
That's me, guys.
He's a poor boy. Yeah. Now, they comment so much on Crabbe and Goyle in this chapter, especially in these pages.
Yeah.
Their size, their gorilla arms, how thick and dim-witted they are. Like, one of them pulls an expression, and it's like, oh yeah, that's how confused he looks when a teacher asks them any question. Started thinking, I'm beginning to think Crabbe and Goyle need some special attention at this school.
Yes, yeah.
They are definitely
Yeah.
not at the same level as like the other students in their year.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair on them to keep them there.
They need like a teaching assistant sat with them,
Yeah.
helping them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys are horrible. Oh, they're so big, we'll have to split into cubicles. Oh, Millicent Bulstrode's no pixie, is she? Crabbe and Goyle are dumb, aren't they? Boys, it's Christmas Day. Can we not be like those football playing soldiers and cease fire for 24 hours? Can we just not have some fat comments
Play
on
some
Christmas
Quidditch.
Day? Yeah. Guys.
Take that stride!
Take that stride!
I'm spitting everywhere.
Lovely.
Yeah, and then they so they walk off, to find the Slytherin chambers, don't
Yeah.
they? They ask a Ravenclaw, we don't know where we are. And she's like, what?
Par for the course with them two.
Yeah, and they eventually get there.
Yeah.
Malfoy starts slagging off Ron and Hermione, or like Weasley and Hermione. And Ron starts like clenching his fists, about to start throwing punches.
But hang on a minute.
Go on.
Before they get to the Slytherin common room, they bump into none other than Percy Weasley.
Yeah, PW.
He's up to something, isn't he?
I'd say.
We're led to believe that he's there looking for the heir of Slytherin, trying to help the teachers, but he's been a bit suspicious all book. And I don't actually know what this is about, because I've only ever read this book once.
Yeah.
But because it said earlier in the book about him staying in his room all day and at home and sending letters. He was hanging around the girls' bathrooms as well, and now he's in the dungeons. Very suspicious. What do you guys think?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, I hate secrets.
I'm shy. I think he obviously puts too much importance on being a prefect anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And it might just be a cry for help because his parents are obviously not giving him any attention.
Yeah.
So it's just,
They're buying him a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, but you want to be with your parents at Christmas, even if,
He needs to move to a war-torn country and they'll visit him.
Draco reveals that below they didn't find all his father's hidden things in the raid of their house.
Yes.
Because underneath their whatever room there is a hidden chamber. Ho! Said Ron.
It is Christmas.
Ho! Even if you're not Crabbe and Goyle, that's an unusual thing to exclaim.
Yeah.
Ho! What?
Very odd, wasn't it? But before that, Malfoy is slagging everybody off.
Yeah.
Right. And he suddenly does a perfect... He even admits that it was a good Colin Creevey impression.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter should team up. Malfoy and Potter's magical impressions. Colin Creevey, the Bloody Baron. They do them all. I'd love to see that show.
It'd be a 10-minute show.
No, you get 5 minutes of Colin, 5 minutes of the Bloody Baron, and then 10 minutes of sketches with both of them in it. Colin and the Baron.
You'd have that'd be Pottervision 2, me and you doing that.
Yes! I want to do it.
Save that for a double.
And then, so they start to change back.
Yeah.
And Ron just exclaims, he goes, medicine for my stomach. What? Not a sentence. Do you need medicine for your stomach?
I think Malfoy had like a good diss as well.
Oh, yeah.
To Goyle like halfway through this little bit. He goes, if you were any slower, you'd be going backwards.
That's good.
How good is that?
That's great.
I love that.
Malfoy's so quick.
I know.
He's hilarious. For a 12-year-old boy, all these little things.
And do you know what? This should be a little bit of a wake-up call to Harry and Ron. Because up until now, they've thought, oh, Malfoy hates us. Look, he's doing these quips to his mates. This is friendly banter he's doing here.
Yeah.
Lighten up, guys.
I think Harry would have done well in Slytherin if he'd have been best mates with like Draco, because
Yeah.
he'd be laughing all the time.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Oh, that's a bit dark, that one," but
Yeah.
this is the world we live in. In between, this is going to be released in 20 years, and it's going to be a laugh.
Because Malfoy is doing all these jokes. Oh, you'd be going backwards if you were any slower. All this kind of stuff. Whereas Harry is with Ron, who is constantly dishing out death threats, thoughts of violence. He'd actually be a better person, I think, if he was in Slytherin.
He'd be a better student.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Would he be perceptible to the wishes and the wills of the Dark Lord? Yes.
Yes.
But would he earn the House Cup more honestly? Yes.
Yes.
And would he start a comedy duo with Malfoy?
Yes.
Malfoy and Potter's magical impressions.
They rush back to the girls' bathrooms.
Yes.
They put their shoes back outside that broom cupboard.
Yeah.
If there's one thing we must do honestly tonight, it's this.
They must have their shoes if they're going to walk to the bathroom with shitty bottoms.
I mean, not only an hour earlier have Harry and Ron been seen dragging these two Slytherins into a cupboard, but an hour later, running through the corridors, hitching up a size of XXL trousers in massive shoes, running through the corridors.
Into some extracurricular clown lessons. They run back into the girls' bathrooms.
Yeah.
Hermione, where are you? No one said that.
Hermione, where could she be? Hermione.
Sounds like
for
a
me.
Year 7 drama lesson. Hermione, where are you?
Saying it to the audience.
She's
But
behind me, boys and girls.
Hermione, she'd accidentally taken the DNA of Millicent's cat. It was a cat hair.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So she's transformed into a cat.
Yeah.
How sad. Now, I think I'd ask to stroke her.
I would.
I'd be like, may I? Just touch the back of her head. Like,
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do that thing with the tail where you run your hand up his
and the
back,
tail goes up.
rises up.
Tickle her under the chin, see if she likes that.
I mean, if you were, a child, you'd be like, can we kiss?
Spread a little bit of tuna on your top lip. Irresistible.
And Moaning Myrtle is loving this. Throughout the whole book so far, she's been this weeping, moaning, crying girl.
Yeah.
She is delighted that somebody else has had something bad happen to them.
Yeah.
And any piece of sympathy I have for Moaning Myrtle has gone. Because she's
I
being
thought
awful.
that because she spends so much of her time being insulted by other ghosts and ghouls and poltergeists, and she's crying.
Yeah.
And now it's finally happened to someone else, and she's so happy.
Yeah. You would think she would have some kind of sympathy. She'd feel some kind of kinship with this hard done by person. But no. She's awful. She's mean. She's nasty.
They say that they're going to take her to Madame Pomfrey
Yes.
because she doesn't ask too many questions. I think she needs to start asking some serious questions as to why one of the students has been turned into a cat. Agree?
You're an employee of the school.
Cool.
If children are going through abuse or harm, you need to be finding out why.
Yes.
Yeah. Where Ofsted are coming in, they're going to be looking through your notes. It says here that a girl had turned into a cat. Do you know what happened there? I don't ask any questions. I don't get no
Well,
answers.
you sort of need to start asking these sorts of questions because there's been irreparable damage to her lower spinal column. So
That's not for
and
me
she
to
can't
know.
walk straight anymore.
Not for me to know. And a year ago, a boy was bitten by a dragon.
Well, he says it was a dog. I believe him.
And what is this chamber of secrets? Well,
How many? You done?
Yeah.
How many? How bloody many? How many boys stuffed unconscious into a cupboard out of 5
with shitty underwear.
are you giving this out of 5?
Oh, I really enjoyed this chapter. Mm-hmm. I thought it was fun. I thought the idea of a Polyjuice potion is fun. I'm not gonna lie. And we're getting through the story. We're getting this idea about the Chamber of Secrets being opened 50 years ago. The person who did it was expelled. He's probably still in Azkaban, Malfoy says. Very, very intriguing. It was all very daft. But for me, not enough Christmas. in this Christmas episode. I was expecting Christmassy things.
Were you for the title that was titled Polyjuice Potion?
I 100%
Our Lord and
was.
Saviour Jesus Christ wasn't in there.
But I did enjoy it, but I'm going to give it 3.5 boys bunged into a cupboard out of 5.
Do you boys know how difficult it is to assess a chapter without having read the rest of the book?
Yes.
Quite difficult. I can understand that this Polyjuice potion was being developed, over a number of chapters. So
Yes.
seeing that as a final payoff would be really good. I feel as a reader and go, yep, they've finally done it. They've enacted this plan. It all went to plan, didn't it? Basically,
Yes, it did actually, yeah.
Apart from the cat thing.
Yep.
I liked it. I agree with Lukas, not enough Christmas, because that was my favourite part of the last chapter that I was on. Sorry, the last chapter or show I was on. I would probably have to say, 3. 3 out of 5.
A bold 3. For myself, this chapter had a lot.
Yes.
It was Christmas, they kept it brief. We'd done Christmas last year. They really dragged it out. We know the Great Hall has gone all out on it. We know that. Just to say it, wrap it on a sentence, perfect for me. But we've been building up to this Polyjuice potion. Yeah? And now there's more peril. They've got to get DNA. They've got to knock people out. This chapter was silly. This chapter was weird, right? I'm giving this chapter 5 unconscious boys stuffed into a cupboard out of 5.
Loved it.
Great
Very
chapter.
good.
I love this chapter.
Now, before we get to the most popular segment in the show,
Oh, yeah?
I don't think there's been enough Christmas in this chapter. Lewis doesn't think there's been enough Christmas in this chapter. So I've got us some lovely Christmas goodies.
More crackers?
Hooray!
No, not more crackers. Now then, Lewis, I felt a bit bad last time because I got Tom a book and I didn't get you a book.
Yeah, and I kicked up a big fuss, didn't I?
You
as
did
well,
kick up
so,
a big fuss.
yeah.
So, as we are reading Chamber of Secrets. I've got you a lovely
Lucas.
copy of Chamber of Secrets.
heart.
Tom still needs to sign it, but we've got a lovely inscription there for
I'm
you.
melting.
I don't know if you'd like to
Thank
read
you.
it.
Beautiful.
Dear friend of the show,
Oh.
Lewis Shaw. In case I forgot my own name. No, that's good. That's good. Thank you once again for being the most fabulous guest on the Pottervision podcast. What are you doing next Christmas? And by that, I mean in 3 months' time.
Yes.
Lucas Kirkby. That's great.
Aw.
Thank you so much,
You're very
Lucas.
welcome.
That's actually fabulous.
And Tom, as is tradition, I've also got you a book. But it is The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh my god, that is beautiful.
There you are with
Check
it.
for the inscription. Dearest Tom, fuck you. Hey!
Hey, I didn't write that.
Dearest Tom, you are my sunshine, my rain, and my slightly foggy. I can't believe we are at book 3 already. My handsome, handsome companion. Keep reading, keep laughing, Lucas.
You put an extra handsome in there.
Thank you so much, Lucas. What
You're
a gift.
very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now, that was the sentimental gifts. But I found 3 very fun things that I'd like us all to have a go at. Now, there are 3 spherical objects, right? And they're called, I don't know if you've heard of these, they're called mashums, right? And
Alright.
each one has a surprise Harry Potter character in it that we have to put together.
Like a non-edible Kinder Egg.
Like a non-edible Kinder Egg. So we get 1 each.
It's shaped like a folded up snitch.
Yes.
By that I mean a circle.
And I've no idea how they work. But
It's
here we go.
It's a little black ball.
And it's a... I thought you put it together, but you don't. Oh, I've got a gooey sorting hat.
I've got the sorting hat as well. Lewis, 3 sorting hats?
No,
We're
let's
going to win the jackpot.
not 3 sorting hats.
No, I got a little Harry Potter.
Hey! Oh, it's gooey.
I love it.
There you go. So a little gooey.
That's great.
At first I thought it was a little turd.
It's your Harry Potter gooey as well.
Oh, yeah, this is sticky.
Hey, that's great.
There you go.
Easy.
Thank you so much, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas.
You're very welcome.
Beautiful boy you are. Now, are you all ready for the most popular segment of the show?
Quiz.
Quiz, quizzicky, quiz, quizzicky, quiz, 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 quiz. Gonna ask you some questions, how well will you do? Quiz, quizzicky, quiz, quizzicky, quiz, 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 quiz. Gonna ask you about Harry Potter, Lucas, how well will you do?
I'll blow you a Christmas
Right,
kiss.
okay. Question one.
Can I have Lewis helping me this time?
But
He
are you
was
saying
such-
I wasn't a good help last time?
We're doing
'Cause I
weakest
wasn't.
link rules this time.
Oh.
All
You've
no,
got.
Lucas, you just do it, mate.
So your only option is bank or pass. Bank or pass.
Okay.
Question one.
Yeah.
What were Harry's 5 Christmas presents?
Treacle fudge from Hagrid.
Hang on. Yep.
Oh, I know one.
A Chudley Cannon's book from Ron.
Yeah, what was that called?
You have to come back to me on that one.
Yep.
A toothpick from
Yep.
the Dursleys. Hermione got him an eagle feather quill,
Mm-hmm.
and Mrs. Weasley got him a jumper.
Okay. Did you get him anything else?
Yes, and a plum cake.
Okay. Now, what was the book called?
Come back to me on that one. Can I defer to Lewis?
You can, but I don't know the answer.
Okay. I'll come back to that. I'll try and remember it.
Well, unfortunately, that was the only question.
Oh!
Five answers.
They were the
I'm
5
going to
answers.
say... Flying with the Cannons.
Correct, sir.
Yes!
You've won.
What have I won?
Bank. A double handshake. Lewis, help me out with this one.
Oh,
Quiz, quizzicky, quiz, quizzicky, quiz, 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 quiz. Gonna ask you some questions. How well will you do? Quiz, quizzicky, quiz, quizzicky, quiz, 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 quiz. Catch you about Harry Potter, Lucas. How well will you do?
I'll blow you a kiss.
Lovely.
This has been the Harry Potter podcast.
Is that what it's called?
No, what's it? That's what I call it, everybody else.
The Pottervision podcast.
Oh, great.
Let's go. Let's do that bit again. I always call it that.
This
This-
has been... Sorry.
Sorry. This has been the Pottervision podcast. A massive, massive thank you once again to our very special guest this week, Mr. Lewis Shaw.
Thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Will you
Hope
be
to come
back
back
next
for the next
Christmas?
season? Sorry, next Christmas episode. I'll be happy to come back.
We very much hope so. Next week, it is chapter 13. Episode 30, can you believe?
Whoa.
Chapter 13 of book 2, The Very Secret Diary. Once again, if you want to get in touch, you can go to pottervision.com, fill in the forms on there, or talk to us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. And we've got bonus content on our Patreon site. There are bonus episodes of the podcast where we're looking at the films and the extra books. And also our 2019 live show is in there in full, so you can actually see our show for a price. Well, thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you very much, Lucas.
Thank you very much, Lewis.
Now we discuss my fee, seeing as you're making money on this podcast now.
This has been the Pottervision podcast.
Goodbye.
Pottervision.
Thank you for listening to the Pottervision podcast. The music was performed by Jack Evans. You can contact us through our website, pottervision.com. And if you'd like bonus content and to support the show, you can visit patreon.com/Pottervision.